Good to see you, George. How are you?
Not bad, guys. Listen, I've got a cat at home, so torturing animals, okay, of any shape, size, or denomination, okay, is just a big no-no.
This is it, exactly.
What are you going all Kurt Zoomer on us, Rez?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, maybe I am channeling.
Allegedly.
Maybe I am channeling Kurt Zuma. No, it wasn't. It's just we have a squeaky chair here, so I wanted to change it. How are you, George? Did you watch the game?
I did watch the game, yeah. Unfortunately, it was not the greatest of experiences. I think on a scale of 1 to 10, I think we're heading into the minus numbers. But it was, look, I think I am quietly concerned now. Other than being quietly confident, I think that display did not inspire me really. So I hope we're in for a big improvement for next week.
Do you think it's just the fact that it's the pre-season friendly and the level played at a professional, and a competitive game, a game where there's something at stake, will make the difference?
I hope so, because if they go in playing that way, and I don't want to berate the players. I think there was some basic errors that happened. That we were too wide open on the right-hand side early on in the game. I think Doherty just didn't see me in the running. But the main concerning factor for me was no real creativity, no ability to break down that low block, which, I did expect to be seeing at this point a little bit more nous, really, if just to put it plainly. I mean, if you're going to use the wing backs then have to be your creative element. If you don't have a creative midfielder, and it's just, I still say, I was speaking with Dave, the Irish Hotspur, and he convinced me that we are looking for a centre back as opposed to creative midfielder. I think there's definitely a need for a centre back, but I'm still edging towards we just totally lack any sort of creativity with the team that we field out there. If you rely on those wing backs, they've got to be up there. They've got to be putting in crosses, and there was not enough of that today. And it's you could tell with the amount of possession that we had, it should have been we should have been posing a far greater threat than we were, and that's my real sort of bugbear here, because we've known what the issue is for a while, and I'm not saying you just go out and buy anybody to put in that position. It does take a certain somebody to light the fire, but it's I just think it's worrying. From where I was, I think, being quite excited about the new season, I'm now filled with a little bit of trepidation.
Right. What do you see happening on Saturday?
Well, listen, I think we'll beat Southampton. I think we should do that, hopefully, quite convincingly. But I think that we will beat Chelsea as well. I think they'll need to play quite an expansive game of football in order to play us. And their confidence levels are fairly low right now. I think there's a bit of dissent in that camp as well. So we need to exploit that. The more expansive a game we can enter into, the more confident I am of beating them. It will be games like the Wolves game where they are going to set up with the low block. They are going to try and catch us on the break. That we're going to need to have our real sort of. We need to be alert. We need to be focused, and we can't afford any slip-ups like we had last season against those teams. So I just still think that we're devoid of much creativity in that squad.
Do you see it being remedied by the end of the transfer window?
Okay, so I'm not going to slate the transfer window simply because there was so much work that needed to be done, and I'm happy with the business that we've done so far. I think some of that business is still transitional business, but at least it is business in the right direction. I think if there were any positives to be drawn out of today, Longley seemed very, very influential, lively, playing with confidence, which is the important thing. And if he has games like today, or plays like he did today, we'll win more games than we did last season. So I think there are positives to be gained, but I just still think that the profile of the squad is such that it just doesn't allow creativity through the centre of the park. And Bissouma just didn't seem to provide that. I still doubt that Bissouma and Højbjerg would be the best selection really in that central midfield position. I would rather see one or the other with Bentancur. Because I think you just lose too much on the creative angle. So I think you need the front three to be moving, and you need Bentancur to be exploiting that movement. Otherwise, there is literally going to be not much coming through the back, creative wise. So let's wait and see. I mean, I'm still positive about next week. Still excited about next week, but there is still work to be done.
Are you, George? Are you going next week or?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Listen, it's my son's birthday next week, and I'm still going to go to the game. I've had to spend that little bit more on the present, but
to make up for it.
Exactly. I think that's my angle out of it.
Yeah.
But,
Happy birthday. I'm going to football. See you later.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, George. Well, hopefully we'll catch up with you next Saturday.
Absolutely.
We'll be in the South Stands, so I'm sure we'll see you in the marketplace before the game. Fingers crossed.
Listen, good to speak to you both, and have a good week. And come on, you Spurs.
Pleasure as always, George. Thanks very much, pal. Take care.